Good morning, my friend. Today we are March 30th, and again, Draco proved me right. We had another 6.1 earthquake. So now that is the third one during that cosmic window. So in many ways, this is not boasting. This is, as I said to George on the show, I said, George, I have to make sure that I prove to the audience and to the world that my UFO predictive legacy is real. It's very important to make notes. I said, be ready for earthquakes, and we had 3. I mean, again, how can you deny this? Well, there's much more to say today. Let's talk about the news. I'm sure you have heard that or have seen the weird video, expect shocking, surprising, unusual news. And then you got the weird video with the Pope avoiding people letting kiss his Papal ring. So that is not normal to see the Pope doing this, but there is a reason behind it. Okay, you could say, you know, it is a health freak, which is the normal excuse. You know, especially if he had a UCI which is loaded with Virgo or Capricorn, which he has, I understand that. But the point is, he also wash and kiss people's feet. Something don't make sense, okay? No, it doesn't. So what happened is, the way I see it is that that ring is extraordinarily powerful. And Draco told me he forgot to change it. Okay. I said, what do you mean he forgot to change it? He says, it is like a talisman. And I said, it's exactly like me. When I make a talisman for you, would it be for love, for money, to connect with extraterrestrial? I strongly, very strongly recommend you not to let anybody touch it. I said, this is yours. It has that energy that is missing, and it is for you, specifically tailored for you, where all those cosmic winds are missing in your UCI or unique celestial identity are loaded with, okay? So letting other people touching this ring is like losing power. And God knows where the rings come from. It could be coming from some of the wonderful, marvelous artifact that was stolen from, the Mayans civilization. God knows where the precious stones come from and the power that is in that stone. So that's the real reason. And of course, unconscious human being just can laugh at looking at this video, but at the same time, it has much more significant secret meaning behind it. So I wanted to share that with you. There is also something else involved in the news. It's about Miley Cyrus, who changed her hair and want to come back to Anna Montana time when she was a little innocent little girl. Again, Mercury retrograde. Remember, Mercury retrograde forced people to go back into time and space. Basically, that is the energy of the universe. She's not cosmic conscious, so obviously not being cosmic conscious, she is simply responding to the stars like anybody else. So it's important, again, for you to realize that those cosmic winds are a little bit weird. Mick Jagger, of course, is not going to go on tour because his health is not a young man anymore. That is part of the news that are a little bit different and shocking. There is, during any of my SOS to the world that we're going through and right now, the weather also has significant impact. That's why California is being buried in some area by a massive snowfall. There is all sorts of things. That, remember, the Boeing is also grounding. Many of his planes that cost millions of dollars, part of my prediction for large corporation to go belly up. And again, a Mercury retrograde that stops all these people. As explained yesterday in my video, when my family came and visited me for my wedding, I told them, you know what, if you want to come here, it's fine, but you have to do it only when I give you a specific date, and you cannot go outside of those dates. So they said, okay, and then they flew here after picking the date that I gave them. And the day after they arrived, I'm sure you've heard of that Icelandic volcano. This thing blew up and has this, locked thousands and thousands of airports and stranded thousands of people, but not my family. And that's what it means to be cosmic conscious, is to be aware of those energy and make a good use of it. There is all sorts of things also involving Trump's post-Mueller victory lap. It's all clouded by chaos mostly because Mercury is retrograde. Our president was born in June. He is directly into the jurisdiction of the planet Mercury, which is the planet of communication and transportation, messing up every means of transportation, while the president is doing a lot of chaos. Everything is going back and forth, it's messed up. That's what Mercury does. So what I'm trying to tell you here, the reason why the White House is in disarray is because of this Mercury retrograde. And the tragedy is those who run your life and my life are not cosmic conscious. And in giving power to people like this, it is absolutely insane, because they don't even know who they are and what's going to happen to them next. Meantime, they are in charge of your destiny, in charge of your wallet, in charge of your insurance, in charge of your life for that matter. Now you see how far the world has to go before humanity can finally reconnect with God, cosmic divinity, and stop challenging the creator, instead move on with the creator. There's another piece of news that's interesting. It's a lady, and that lady, she was kind of complaining because of legging, and that stimulated a little girl called Anne Jarrett, the little girl who helped to create a legging Pride Day, to go on entertainment TV and then explain the situation. She was quite upset that this lady, obviously very religious, didn't want old ladies who goes to church to wear those leggings. Now, if you have a very strong verbal, critical, practical, virgin-like UCI, chances are you're going to agree with that lady, okay? But at least, you're going to church. You're not going to go naked to church, but to her, you're going naked, because this is how, through a UCI, she perceived the world. To her, it's against religion. She doesn't understand that God made sex to feel so good. So we do it all the time. You cannot do that to a French guy. Maybe a bit sarcastic and funny today. Sorry, my allergies. So what I'm trying to tell you, you can only judge the world and the people around you through your education, through your intelligence, through your experiences, and most of all, through your UCI. And that lady, including that little girl, and 99.9 of people like you out there, don't have cosmic consciousness. And my mission, of course, is to raise that awareness so that you can understand that there is a little bit more behind the marvelous work of our Creator. At the same time, can't forget that you have been made in the image of your Creator, and you have the power to create. And you are here learning to be a God. In fact, you are a God in training on this dense physical world to learn the power of the thought, or the power of creation. Because once your number is up, you're going to be a participant of the eternal light of life, the eternal power of creation. And that's where comes the reptilius, who works for the devil, for the darkness, who needs fears and chaos and instability and anything and everything that is negative, so they can feed their ugly dark souls. So that's another explanation that I have for you as to understand why Christians perceive the devil on the rational way. However, you still have to remember that God never came down, and God never wrote no books, my friend. that he made the stars so that you can live a longer, safer, more productive life. All right, we'll talk again tomorrow. I hope you enjoy my little work. Again, keep looking at those news and remember again, Draco stand by me. I said be ready for earthquakes on the 29th, and I give that window 48 hours, and we had 3. That's the power of supreme wisdom, cosmic consciousness, and all that I'm trying to do to make all of you superhumans. All right, my good friend. Talk to you again soon. Goodbye. Hey, by the way, I'm going to go to the park. That's why I'm all easy today. Hey, right? Peace.